Hello, everyone. It's Marie Holiday. And before I get started with my walking and chatting, I just want to take a moment to thank all of my supporters for supporting my channel. My channel reached its 4th anniversary June 6th. And I really do want to thank all of my supporters for supporting my channel. And it's Saturday morning, and I'm getting ready to walk. Actually, I'm out here at a golf club, so I'm gonna walk the walking path on the golf course and get a little exercise this morning. So with that being said, let's get on down to today's topic. And this sun is already kind of warm this morning. I got my water with me. Folks out here on this golf course, and I'm telling you, make it a point to get out here in the real world and enjoy this weather, enjoy this sun, and get some exercise. It's just so important to do that. So the focus of this lecture is going to be about, you really can retire early if you set up a game plan. You can really retire early if you set up a strategic plan to do that. Before I fully retired, September of 2023, 10 years before I retired, I sat down and I developed a plan on paper, and I was laser focused to retire 10 years in the future. So that 10 years in the future arrived September of 2023. Actually, I had on my strategic business plan that 10 year would be September 2024, but I was actually able to retire a year early. Make a long story short, I retired 4 years early. Retired after working 23 years as a licensed clinical addiction expert. I retired with a state pension out of North Carolina, but I had to be laser focused because my game plan was not to work any more than I needed to work. Literally, one of the key things I tell people, if you want to retire early at any age, sit down, get that plan on paper. You need to, one of the things I did is, of course, I had money coming out of my check for my state retirement pension, but I also began to invest in other retirement accounts aggressively. And I mean aggressively. Every time I got a raise or a promotion, I treated that money like it didn't exist. I was increasing my portfolio. That's key right there. You cannot be doing no hyper spending if you're trying to retire. And even if you can't retire early, when you do get ready to retire, you still need to have a plan. I've sat down and I developed a strategic plan along that 10-year business plan to retire early. I paid off all of my bills. It's critical. Do not enter retirement with bills. I mean, yeah, I got my regular bills, cell phone, food, and gas, but I'm talking about bills like mortgage, second mortgage, car note, credit card, school loan.
You can't be out here.
Okay.
You gotta go back.
School loans, etc. You cannot enter retirement owing debt. So I literally paid off my 3-year mortgage 20 years early. I was laser focused. And eliminated all debt. I paid off my car early. I've, since then had to get another car. I just got a nice used car, paid for it in cash. I don't fool with credit cards. During that time when I was on that 10-year journey, I had to clear up some credit card debt. I hadn't owned a credit card since about maybe 2013. I'm telling you, you cannot enter retirement early in debt, because what's going to happen, you're going to find yourself having to go back to work because you're drowning in a sea of debt. I've been debt free for several years. other than just basic bills, utility, cell phone, and etc. Key thing is you got to change your mindset. You can't be thinking you're going to retire and you still out there with multiple mortgages, multiple car notes, deep in credit card debt, school loan. Make sure you don't enter retirement on school debt. You know, this thing is real. And then not only that, you know, you really have to change your mindset about money. You know, my book title is Awake Financial Freedom. If you have not read that book, that is a powerful testimony on how I share my journey of financial destruction from 2007 to 2012. And I had to change my mindset. And it's a powerful thing, knowing that I don't have to get up no more for the rest of my life, hitting nobody's time clock. And that's power. Financial freedom is critical to establish an emergency savings account and get in the habit of doing that. Set up your money going into your retirement accounts and other portfolios automatic. I did that 10 years before I retired. And you don't touch that money. Budget your money. If I do anything, I do it in cash. I do not create new debt. You are not going to be able to maintain your financial freedom if you are out there creating new debt. The key thing is to keep your debt to income ratio as low as possible. These are all of the tips and strategies I developed and understood and wrapped my mind around 10 years before I retired. And the rest is history. Because you got folks, I know a lot of people, you know, who ain't even thinking about in terms of looking at their portfolio or retirement account, but they're getting up and going to work every day. And you can't just depend on Social Security. Because when I do get old enough to get Social Security, that's more money on top of my pension. That's power. But it ain't, you can make all the money in the world if you don't understand how to master your money and how to manipulate your money to make more money off money, then you're defeating the purpose. Even though I'm in retirement, I'm still got other streams of income hitting me every month other than my pension. You know, and I tell folks, you know, at any age, use your talents to generate more money. You know, I make money through my book. I make money under my company, Paris & Associates Resource Center, where folks want to hire me to go into an executed contract to develop the strategic business plan. You know, I start developing and cultivating and nurturing my company that's well over 20 years old, but I really start nurturing my company prior to retirement. My book hit all major bookstores well over 2 years ago. And I was determined to have my book hit all major bookstores. I did my manuscript to my book while I was still working. And I'm telling you, you know, that's how I'm in this position today. And by the grace of God, September this year, I made a solid year. I've been in full retirement. All of my retirement checks I've gotten since I retired, September 2023, I have turned around and reinvest 100% of my retirement income in another retirement account. So I ain't even touching that money. I ain't even touching my retirement pension. Who do you know? Everyday people get a retirement check every month and turn around and reinvest their retirement check into another retirement account and ain't even touching that money. And how I'm able to do that, because my bills are so ridiculously low, you know, revenue off my other income sources, you know, the royalty of my books, the money I make through my company every month, in my YouTube checks. I use a little bit of that money to pay my little bills I have every month. That's all the bills I have in the world is less than $1,100. So with my retirement check hit, I don't even touch that money. I reinvest it into another retirement account. Then the money I'm getting through my other revenue streams, pay my little bills, and I even save a big proportion, reinvest a big proportion of the money I'm making through my other income streams. That's power. But there is nowhere in the world I could have been able to do that if I would have been deep in debt in retirement. I would have to use my pension every month to pay bills. Like most people use their retirement check every month to pay bills. I ain't touching none of that money. There's no need to touch it. So I say that to say, because of the strategies that I used 10 years prior to retirement, I'm still using the same strategies to increase my financial portfolio, to master my money in retirement, because they ain't playing. And that's a powerful thing. I learned none of this in graduate school. And I learned none of these tips and strategies in college. All college teach you to do is get in debt, credit cards, school loan, and then some people enter retirement on school loan. That's the only thing college teach you. College don't teach you this powerful information that I'm talking about right now on this live stream, because it's real talk. And that's what financial freedom is all about. That's power right there. And another tip and strategy I can tell anybody who want to retire early, or even you ain't got to be retired, is use your knowledge and skills to generate another stream of income, whatever talent you may have. I don't care if it's doing hair or catering or cooking or fixing cars, or you get a book published, or you get your YouTube channel monetized. Use your talent to create more income, and then you turn around and you invest that money. You know, I still maintain my professional credentials, my license as an addiction expert. I'm credentialed at the national level. I'm credentialed in 3 states. So since I've been retired, I've made a truckload of money, where communities and churches and schools want to hire me, or to to go into a contractual agreement with me for me to come out and do a lecture on relapse prevention, or the disease concept of addiction, or how to recognize the behavior signs if someone has relapse. So by me having those addiction credentials at the highest level, absolutely you're going to pay me for doing that lecture, and for presenting information based off research, based off my knowledge and my skills and my credentials. So that's another way I make money, if I select to make money that way. When people in the community want to go into a contractual agreement for me to come out and maybe do a lecture on substance abuse prevention, you know, because alcoholism and drug addiction is out of control. It's in the schools, it's in the elementary schools, it's in the middle schools, it's in the high schools. You got folks suffering from addiction in church, at home, in the community. It's a non-discriminatory disease. The disease of alcoholism and drug addiction is a non-discriminatory disease. And I'm here to tell you, you know, when I was in the field as an addiction expert working throughout my career, you know, I was noticing that the age of onset of alcoholism and drug addiction is younger and younger and younger. One of the main questions I ask folks who are in full-blown addiction, how young were you when you first started using? It would be nothing for a person to tell me, I started using alcohol and drugs at the age of 5. So by the time they're 10, they're in full-blown addiction. So this thing is real. Wake up, people. So with somebody with my level of credentials, if I wanted to, I could make a truckload of money consulting. But I've been there full circle. I do it at my leisure. But I say that to say, use your knowledge, skills, and talents to always have a way to generate more cash flow. And that cash flow that you generate, have a purpose for that money. Turn around and reinvest that money. You know, I believe in the month of May, you know, with a few speaking engagements I did in the month of May alone, I think I cleared over $5,000. And it wasn't like work to me, because I'm the expert in terms of when it comes to the field of addiction. You know, I'm good at what I was on top of my game and got the credentials to back it up. You know, and I tell these folks, here are the credentialing boards. You can go and check out my credentials. I'm on top of my game. So if you want the expert to come to present this information, let's take a look at this and negotiate this contractual agreement for my services. Because God gave us, everybody, knowledge, skills, and ability unique to us. And you got to get out of that free mindset, because you ain't gonna go to no attorney to get no free legal advice. You ain't gonna go to no medical doctor and get no free medical service. I'm no different. I'm a licensed clinical addiction specialist, credentialed at the national and state level. And I had to work long and hard, post-master's degree, and had to pay a lot of money for my credentials. So what I look like presenting this information to organizations and businesses in the community free. No, let's go into a contract. So I say that to say, even in retirement, still have your money flow moving, so you can position yourself where you don't even have to touch your pension. And you turn around and you reinvest your pension. And then because your debt is so low, whatever little bills you have, you can just pay that out of your other streams of income, and at the same time while you're building your financial portfolio. So that is how this woman was able to exit up out of this workforce 4 years early, because I had a game plan. I had a strategy plan. I had a 10-year strategic plan, and I was laser focused, and the rest is history. So share this information. Some folks might need to hear this, because I'm telling you, it's more to life than just working yourself to death. It really is. It is more to life than working yourself to death. So that's all I have. Don't forget to mark your calendar for July 27th at 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'm going to do a relational lecture on full copy edit. I'm going to literally present my full copy edit completed by Page Publishing Company when they edited my accepted manuscript. So if you want to find out how that reads, mark your calendar. That's all I have. Simplify, Simple Fidelis, and I'm going to leave you in the care of your own conscience. Have a great day.